Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Today is a big day. We are installing the engine and the transmission. We're going to put them together and drop them in the car today. But we have a very special guest with us here. We have Yogi from Yogi's Garage. You may have recognized him before. We have gone to his garage once or twice to help him on his Porsche 911 project. But it's a very exciting day for us. But before we get to that, why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel and what you do there?
Hi, I'm Yogi. I do a DIY channel as well. I focus on the German automobiles. I've done Audis and Porsches. I have another project coming up where I'm going to be putting in a new engine on a 1995 Mercedes E-Class wagon. So be sure to check that out on my channel, Yogi's Garage.
Absolutely, yeah. So make sure you guys go check those out. And make sure you drop a comment and say you stopped by from Garage Time TV. We'd appreciate it.
Please.
That way he knows who's coming to visit.
Right.
So he's going to help us out today. He brought some tools. We've got our cherry picker out. We're going to get this off the stand and get our clutch installed, mate our transmission and our engine together, and finally put this engine in. I'm so excited. One step closer to getting this all put back together.
Yes.
So
Let's
very
get busy.
exciting. Let's get to it.
All right.
All right, so first things first, Yogi, you're cranking up our cherry picker for us. We're gonna be putting the engine on here, and then we're gonna put our clutch, flywheel, all that good stuff, all new, onto the back of the engine while it's on the cherry picker, and then we'll be cranking it a million times. We'll put these together. We did put our new Guivo on the back of our transmission before we're getting started. It's so much easier to do on the bench than underneath the car. So that's already taken care of, and I just power washed it real quick, get it really clean, get the loose stuff knocked off. It's going to be underneath the car, so it's going to get dirty again. I'm not going to spend all the time cleaning it, but there is new fluid in it, so it's all taken care of and leveled off. So let's get this thing on here.
Just like mine.
Yep. Crap.
Like, is it even moving?
Yeah.
Keep going here. Where'd that go?
Crank a million times.
Yep. There we go. All right.
A little persuasion.
Okay. Let's see. I've got a DeWalt version of that thing, and I use it mainly for driving, for like drilling in lag bolts into 4x4. That thing's a beast. I'm gonna come around this side so you can get some of that footage there.
Oh, it's so nice having a camera person.
Those are brass. Those bolts.
No, they're not
Where'd you get
brass.
those at? Home Depot?
They're not brass. I probably would not show these flywheel bolts. You'll get shunned.
I'm serious, dude. Those.
They're not brass. They're coated.
Okay, they're galvanized or whatever, right?
Right.
Or anodized.
Right.
Okay,
But they're 10.9 rating.
cool. You need me to hold the crank on the other side?
Probably because our crank bolt isn't tight.
You don't have a flywheel lock or anything?
We're poor here.
All right, so we're putting the bolts on. What's the torque spec on
Yeah,
this?
absolutely. So right now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be torquing our flywheel on. We're going to do it in a star pattern. You're just going to go across just like you would your wheel on your car. You're going to do it in a star pattern. And we're going to do this in a gradual torque. So we're going to go from 40 to 80 and then to a final torque of 105.
So there's no plus 90 degrees or any
Nope.
of that? Okay, so you're not stretching them.
That's right. These are one and done.
I think the high ones are definitely kind of
Are you saying it?
Yeah. I guess I am.
All right, so that's 40.
I got the same torque
I
wrench.
love this one.
Yep. It's a great torque wrench. I have most of my tools are teched in.
Yeah. All right, there's 80. Oh, I thought I was gonna have it.
Let me go
Yep,
get
you're gonna have to hold the crank.
All right, let's do that.
I thought it was so good. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm. Switch gears on the channel and do the body work now that the car's going to be damaged.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
There it is. Okay.
It shouldn't cost. Range Rover would have to custom made for me. Yeah, $525. Yeah. The sleeves and new pistons and guesses. They hurt. We put everybody's hurt. Oh, wait. Okay, please.
So now we're going to be installing our new clutch pressure plate and friction plate here. You always want to make sure that the extended side that pokes out is on the transmission side. That way it has more to grip the splines. And you always want to use your tool. Make sure you use your transmission alignment tool. Fits in there and fits in the
What would happen if you didn't use the alignment tool?
If you did not use the alignment tool, then you're going to have a bad time. It's going to be really hard to get this transmission and engine to mount together. Just make sure it's perfectly centered. That way the transmission shaft, which is the same pattern as the tool, make sure it lines up perfectly and slides in nice and easy, and you're not fighting the grooves and trying to recenter it, because there's a lot of force on this pressure plate, from the pressure plate onto the friction here. So you want to make sure that's nice and centered, and this tool does it all for you.
Nice.
So as we're attaching our pressure plate to our flywheel, you see it's got 3 guide pins, and those actually match up to the centers of our sides here. 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. And we're just going to put on our bolts. These are 13mm bolts, and I don't remember the torque spec off the top of my head.
If they're 13s and they're M8s, you're probably looking at 20 max.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
20 newton meters. Or
so it's what, about 3 Ooga Doogas?
Yeah, 3 Ooga Doogas.
No, yeah, it's gonna be somewhere in that range. So we're gonna get these on there. You'll do the same thing. You'll do it in a star pattern, just like we did our flywheel. And you want to make sure you keep your tool in the entire time. And it's going to make your life a lot easier, and those guide pins really make a difference. So we're going to get these installed.
Yeah, we can wait for that, and we can just have cheese and charcuterie. How's that?
Or just too fancy. We have to have a charcuterie board.
That's not how I sounded. But we like to eat, man.
All right, so we're going to be torquing down our pressure plate. There isn't anything listed in the manual, but we're just going to go with 20 foot-pounds. I like Yogi's suggestion. And I like to torque it just to have even pressure all the way across. That way one side of the plate isn't working harder than the other. All right, so we've got the pressure plate applied. We've got 20 foot-pounds all the way around, done in that star pattern. The key to make sure that you know you've done this right is your locating tool here in the middle should come out nice and easy, just like that. You shouldn't have to fight it. If you have to fight it, that means you're not lined up. So make sure it comes out nice and smooth, just like that. It'll make mating that transmission to the engine that much easier. All right, so before we install our transmission, we're gonna be taking out our throwout bearing. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is release the spring that's on the lever to the side here. So I'm just removing this spring to take the pressure off the clutch fork. And it does have a little hole that it rests in on the back side. You're gonna wanna pull this forward, and you'll see these little fingers on this side. You should be able to pull it back to release that ball and get kind of up and around it. If my glove doesn't stick. There you go. And you'll be able to bring your clutch, your throwout bearing all the way up to where we can replace it. Just like that. And you see it comes out just like that.
It's a different fitment.
Yeah, so our new one, we're gonna clean this up before it goes back in there, but our new one has kind of like locking tabs.
This is all metal too.
Right, that one's all metal. This one will go in here, and you just twist.
Got it.
And it'll sit in place.
Nice.
Okay, but we're gonna clean this up. We're gonna get this reinstalled, just a reverse of the process, and then finally we can mate these two together. There we go.
Very nice. This thing's gonna drive like new.
Just like that.
Yep. That's good.
Just another day in the Fiat life. Me gripping the transmission.
Strong arming it.
That's right. You probably couldn't do that with the engine, but. All right, so we're bringing it down so we can finally join them together. All right, so we're getting ready to attach our transmission to the engine. You want to make sure you have your spacer. What do you call this?
It's a baffle plate.
Yeah, baffle plate. That's the terminology I'm looking for. But these 4 holes actually mount to the lower 2 sets of the bolts on the bottom, and this little cutout rests underneath this one. Your starter comes through here, and these are your 4 transmission bolts. So you're gonna have to put this on first, just like that, and it'll kind of hold on there. For those little bolts will hold it, and it's like a balancing act. The dowels on the bottom will help you hold it on there, just like that, and it shouldn't move on you a whole lot. You may have to deal with it a little bit, but it shouldn't be too rough. All right, so here we go. So if you have ever worked on a Fiat engine before, you know how brutally hard it is to access the starter while the engine is in the car. So since we have it out, we're going to be installing our new gear reduction starter that came with it. It's going to save us a huge amount of time now, because if you have to get to this when it's in the car, you're going to have a bunch of extensions going down the transmission tunnel, almost all the way down to the rear differential. And like one of my friends says, you better have a beer ready to work on it, because you're going to need it, because it's going to take you a while. But this, when it's out like this, it's so much easier. Just do it.
So if you had to do a starter job where the starter's bad on an engine, is it an engine out?
No, because it would still take, I think, less time doing it this way, but it's still going to run you about an hour.
Because I'm guessing your headers are going to come out and cover all this up.
Oh, well, this is the intake.
Is this the intake side?
Yes.
Yeah, that is the intake. Okay. Well, that's not bad then.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
The starter on my 2 liter is on the exhaust side.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right by the catalytic converter.
Interesting. That's way down there.
It is, yeah.
German engineering. All right, so we're slowly picking up the engine here, getting ready to install it. We're going to time lapse this for you. We have actually removed the arm and the steering in the middle. That way we have plenty of room to get the transmission down in there without hitting any of the steering linkages. So we're going to time lapse this for you. It's going to be a long process, up, down, up, down. We have the jack underneath, all that good stuff. And we're not going to have a whole lot of time to stop. So let's get this thing installed.
Let's do it.
looks so good in here. It was fighting us for a little bit, but
are these yours? The washer and lock washer?
No, that's yours.
Okay.
But man, it's in there.
How about the washer? That looks like yours.
That is yours.
Mine?
Yeah, because look, you got it on this side.
Oh, great.
Oh, I can't believe it's sitting in here. This is so good. So good.
It's really nice looking.
Yeah, just got to straighten out a couple things, but man. Oh, the red on the black with the silver accent. I've got some parts coming in. The water tee that goes on right here is also red to match the nice dark black new hoses. Oh, this is where stuff's really going to start taking off because we're starting to put the intake on. Then we can start looking at our exhaust. I think we're going to go with the stainless headers.
Nice.
On this, it'll look really good. Probably wrap them up in heat material and get them down and out the back. This looks good. Thank you so much for your help. This is
my pleasure, man.
This is
I love
awesome.
doing this.
This was this is a big day.
This was a lifesaver.
Oh, this was
that leveler.
Get yourself
yeah.
one of these levelers. This is like easy made the job so much better.
Yeah, without that, it would have been a pain in the butt.
Yeah, and the good thing is we discovered while taking off our shifter that it needed to be replaced because as soon as he touched it, it like crumbled on him. So definitely needed to do that. This old brittle plastic. So
You'd
definitely
probably get a much better shifting action too if you just refresh all
absolutely.
the parts.
Yeah, get all new grease, clean all this up, look at all this debris in here. Really clean it up. It'll make a huge difference. So this is good that we pulled it out now, so we can replace this and get that in there. But what a difference! It looks so good. Alright guys, and that's going to do it for this episode. We got the engine and the transmission in. We had a couple hiccups, just really trying to get it to line up right and get those engine mounts in the slot. It's a lot easier to do this with the mounts on the block already. That way, once you find that kind of oval slot, it slides right in there. Definitely a two-man job. I would have been here much longer if I had to do this on my own. And that leveling tool that you brought, that leveler, is worth its weight in gold.
Yes, it is.
Get yourself one of those. And I can't thank Yogi here for any more.
Anytime.
For coming over here and doing this with me. We got it done in what, about an hour?
Yeah, about an hour and a half. With we had to stop and adjust a few things, take the transmission mount off, and take the shift lever out, which is a good thing we did, like you said.
Right.
Because that thing was busted. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're ready to go, man. You're almost ready to start it.
Oh, well, let's do one thing at a time here. Trust me, I want to get this thing fired up as soon as possible, but I want to make sure we have it all done right.
Yep, absolutely.
So thank you guys so much, and again, thank you to Yogi for coming over from Yogi's Garage. Make sure you guys go check him out. I'll make sure to put a link in the description to his channel so you can go check out the builds that he's working on in his current Porsche project along with his Mercedes project. Make sure you guys go check that out, and make sure you tell him that you came from Garage Time TV. That way we know we're all supporting each other in our projects at home. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. Make sure you do it for him too. And until next time, we'll see ya.
All right.